Most presentations have an intro, body, and conclusion. But if you don't get your introduction right, they're not going to listen to the rest. We're going to talk about the 4 components that your introduction has got to have. My name is Alex Lyon, and I'm here to provide professional development tips to help you increase your impact and take your teams to new levels of excellence. One of the ways you can do that is through better presentation skills. When people look at you present and you do it well, they're going to say, that person's a great leader. So it's important that you work on this. Every introduction has got to do about 4 things in order to really grab people's attention and get them to listen. And I haven't created these 4 items, but I have coached enough people over the years and done enough presentations myself to feel confident that I can pass them on to you. The first step is the attention getter. You have to do something in the very opening moments of your presentation to get people interested in what you're about to say. I have a whole separate video on great ways to open presentations that you can look at after this video. And so I'm not going to go into all the details, but one of the ways is an illustration, for example. And I saw a speaker live and in person, a well-known speaker named Charlie Plum, who is a former prisoner of war from Vietnam. And he begins his presentation by pacing across this square on the stage. And those dimensions of the square are the same dimensions of his prison cell in Vietnam. His attention getter only lasts for about a half a minute, but boy, is it a way to draw us into that moment and to make us care about the rest of what he's going to talk about. So the first step is an attention getter. The second step is to tell your audience what their benefit is from listening. You forecast what they're going to come away with at the end of it. You have to tell people directly what's in it for them. Otherwise, they might not care, or they might think, why do I care? What's in it for me? And they don't ask that in a selfish way. Anytime we're listening to a presentation, we want to know how we can benefit. We want to know what we're supposed to pay attention to. And so you want to tell them directly. Let's say you're talking about retirement planning. A lot of people are worried about retirement. You might say, by the end of this presentation, you're going to come away with a concrete action plan that you can put into place immediately to ensure a financially secure retirement. Okay, well, if you're telling me at the end of this 10 or 15 minutes that I'm going to come away with a concrete plan that I can move forward on, now you've got my attention. So the second step is to tell your audience directly what's in it for them. The third step is to say your main point explicitly. This is called a thesis statement in some circles. And it's where you tell people exactly the central theme of what you're about to say. Sometimes people think they shouldn't do this and like, oh, I shouldn't tell them directly what I'm going to say. That seems so obvious. But I don't think this is something you should leave to chance. If you want people to walk away remembering your main point, then I think you should say your main point in the introduction very clearly as the number 3 item in your introduction. Once you've done that in about 1 sentence, really cleanly, give them a very brief preview in the 4th element of what is to come. This is a roadmap. It's where you basically say, here are the 2 or 3 items I'm going to cover. I think you should keep this as concise as possible, 1 little sentence. I've seen people give long, extended roadmaps and previews of what's about to come, and it sounds like they're already into their presentation. You got to keep it nice and concise. Let's say you're going to talk about the difficulties of retirement. You might say something as short as this. We're going to talk about some of the difficulties that people face in retirement and what you can do about it. That's very brief. And you tell people what's coming. They have a schema for how to listen to the rest of the presentation, but they don't feel overwhelmed and as if you already gave all the details. In my experience, if you do these 4 things, attention getter, tell them what's in it for them, give your thesis, give a brief, concise roadmap of points to come, people will be very interested in listening to the rest of the presentation. The reason I created Communication Coach, this channel, is to help rising leaders like yourself take your game to the next level. Presentation skills are one of the key ways that you can do that. A good presenter will be seen as a good leader. So if you're interested in ongoing tips about this, then please subscribe to the channel, tune in, make some comments, post some questions below, and let's start a dialogue. So thanks, God bless, and I hope you get to use the tips in this video at your very next opportunity.